No one has ever questioned why the mineshaft in Minecraft is abandoned. I mean, just look at it. I would give this place a 1 emerald rating at best. It's infested with spiders and the junk of previous tenants is laying around dangerously in unguarded minecarts. I think it's time for a makeover. Hello and welcome everyone to the show. My name of course is System Z, and if Minecraft 1.17 were to be a cave update, then surely the abandoned mineshafts would be updated too. From better generation and new features to even mining villagers, this is how Minecraft's mineshaft should be. So without further ado, let's start mining. Hey you, yes you, watching the video. Did you know that you can subscribe and click the bell to be notified whenever I next upload a video? If you end up enjoying this video, consider subscribing and helping me reach 600,000 subscribers. My friends, hello and welcome! Today we are going to be updating the mineshafts of Minecraft, and there is exactly one way that I've decided to do this, and that is split it up into 3 different types of mineshaft structure variations that you could actually find in the game. Each one is updated to fit the area and purpose of the mineshaft. What's up, sheep? How you doing? Yeah, it's a nice mineshaft. I would agree. But without further ado, let's go ahead and check out the first variation, which is actually an underground mineshaft that is connected to a village. This would be a mineshaft that would, in all sense of the word, be peaceful. You wouldn't really have to worry about any mobs spawning down here apart from villagers, at least during the day. During night, zombies might come down here and make a new home and, of course, find the food that they so long for. But as you can see, this is a really cleaned up mineshaft. We've got lanterns, we've got really nice pillars to support the structure, and we've even got a gated off area that's blocking access into the caves, which I should also mention that there is a chance that you could find this in a cave. Essentially, this would be your guaranteed exit because every single underground mineshaft would be connected to the outside, and you could essentially either walk out or take the minecarts, which are actually activated to easily exit at your own discretion and then get caught in a loop just like this. Please help. And moving on from there, as you can see, and the villager's caught. Oh man, he's caught now. Okay, well, all right, so moving on. We've even got a new type of villager which would exclusively be found in this particular mineshaft. And that, of course, is a mining villager. This villager would sell all sorts of cave-type supplies, allowing you to buy coal, lanterns, maybe even a pickaxe or two, and even sell ore that you find in the underground. I also love to imagine that it would introduce some sort of food, like a cave carrot from Stardew Valley. All sorts of possibilities there. I definitely think this would be an amazing type of villager, adding on to the professions that we need in Minecraft. Additionally, this would even be a good opportunity to add variations of barrels. You can see here that I have crates. Now essentially this would be the same recipe as a barrel, but by using oak instead of spruce you would get a crate, allowing you to do essentially the same thing, but giving us way more creative possibilities. Each different plank could yield a different type of storage device. I love that idea, it would be amazing. And also, a random idea I just had, as you can see here, on the back of this villager, he's got a coal backpack. Perhaps, maybe, the highest tier item that this villager could sell would be a backpack. But I don't know, that one's a little bit of a stretch. But moving on and kind of concluding this particular variation of the mineshaft, this would also be an area where you would find an extension of the village. So you would find random villagers and their blocks almost in an underground home, making the mineshaft itself have just a little bit more life. So let me know what you think of this particular variation, and let's go ahead and check out the next type. And of course, if villagers are gonna have their own mineshaft, then you could imagine that a pillager would as well. My friends, welcome to the second variation of the mineshafts in an effort to improve the entire structure and experience as we know it. In the base of a pillager outpost, you are almost guaranteed to find a mineshaft currently in use by pillagers. Also, what's that on my head? Don't worry, we will find out momentarily. But as you can see here, this is a slightly abandoned mineshaft, or should I say taken over mineshaft. I love to imagine that this was once a beautiful village with life of villagers as far as you can see, and then pillagers decided to ruin it and take it over for themselves, where they have begun their adventure and process of mining gold, which is actually something really cool to the story of the pillagers, but we'll talk about that here momentarily. You can see that this place is pretty much abandoned. It's covered in moss, including a new type of block known as mossy planks, which you guessed it is craftable. which adds us more mossy type variation blocks, which I think would be amazing. As a builder, I would love to see this. This would be awesome, especially for all types of planks and maybe even all types of blocks. You can definitely see it's useful here. And this place is really noisy. Oh, goodness. And Ravagers are also found down here in their own cages. I love to imagine that this is one method that they use to actually burrow through the stone, which is amazing, using the horns of the Ravager. Who would have thought of that? And then, of course, prisoner villagers, because, you know, it's a pillage place. You got to keep up with the theme. But in this case, they're actually trying to keep players from being able to buy maps leading to the Woodland Mansion from the cartographer, which I think would be awesome. Or even they're trying to use them to make their own maps. The possibilities. But as I said before, there is actually a storytelling plot found in this mineshaft. As you can see, it is infested with gold, and this is exactly what the pillagers are after, in an effort to make friends with the piglin. What better way to take over Minecraft than to rule both the overworld and have hands in every other dimension? This is a really cool idea, kind of adding to the subplot of the pillagers, which gives us more of a storyline than we currently have in Minecraft. Let me know what you think of that idea and how you would build on that story down in the comments below. Now, instead of minecarts with chests, I like to imagine that they would actually use TNT minecarts to burrow through the ground, whenever the Ravager's tired, of course. But that being said, that's essentially it for this variation. But like I said, there are 3 to upgrade mineshafts. So without further ado, let's go ahead and check out the next one. My friends, welcome to the final variation of the mineshaft, something that's actually going to be a little bit more familiar to what's currently in the game. This is my take on the original mineshaft, which would now be called the Infested Mineshaft, and you could probably understand why. It's got dancing spiders. I mean, who wouldn't want the unison? They've practiced for this moment all of their life. But as you can see, this is an existing mineshaft that's essentially covered in vines, cobwebs, and even new types of mobs. My friends, welcome yourselves and make a warm welcome for the Undead Miner, a new mob found exclusively in the mineshafts. And yes, it hurts. Whenever he slaps you with that pickaxe, it's gonna do some damage. I love to imagine that as well, it can actually break blocks, albeit slowly, whenever trying to get to you. So if you're hiding, it will probably eventually get to you. But that being said, they actually have a chance of dropping a couple of items. One of those being their pickaxe, which it did not drop that time. But of course the other being the actual helmet that they use, which I don't know if you've noticed, they actually do put off light. So this is a great way to introduce a mining helmet to the game. I'm probably not going to get a golden pickaxe, am I? Come on, one more time. Okay, lucky number. We got it. This time. Nope. All right, well, I'm going to give up on that. But as you can see, I've actually got the mining helmet on my head, and it allows me to essentially light up the area that I'm walking in. I would imagine that this would actually use coal to power it as well, so that it's not necessarily an infinite light source, but a still very useful one at that. Now, adding on to the theme of the Infested Mineshaft, this as well would have a cave spider spawner, but it's a little bit more fit for the theme. As you can see, this is a little bit more consistent with dungeons in Minecraft, but instead of mossy cobblestone, it uses the mossy planks that I showed before, as well as vines and cobwebs. And instead of chest, you've got chest and minecarts. Now, this place is a little loud, so let's kind of back up here. But even the theme goes on with the exits. This place is filled with rubble, keeping you in, unable to escape, especially when you try and break a block. Because, did I mention, of course, all of the stone is infested as well? That's right, my friends. When you mine in this mineshaft, you are going to be met with a horde of silverfish. So when you make your Indiana Jones style exit and try and leave for the rubble, you're blocked in. And as you turn around, a field of silverfish come running towards you. Oh, that is absolutely frightening. But this actually has quite a lot of doors that it could open. For example, not only could it introduce the undead miner mob, but even a new type of silverfish that can actually steal loot that's sitting on the ground. That is really, really fun, but maybe even Herobrine, which I think we could all agree would be terrifying. But that's essentially it for the upgrade to the mineshafts. Very simple, but definitely effective. Now let me know what you think of these dancing spiders. They've definitely got their groove on. Well, my friends, that is going to do it for today's video. If you enjoyed, make sure to leave a thumbs up and consider subscribing and turning on notifications so that you're alerted whenever I next upload a video. Also, let me know in the comments below what you thought of this video and whether or not you would like to see more updated structures in Minecraft. But before I go, I just want to say massive shout out to everybody who has recently subscribed. It has actually been crazy lately how supportive everyone has been. So much so that we just recently passed 500,000 subscribers, which is super amazing, and I could not thank you enough. So thank you very much for being a part of this journey. I've got some really cool announcements coming soon, all sorts of really cool merchandise that's actually coming to market. Very cool stuff. In fact, we've got something coming Monday for We're the Piglins, the rap that I did. So definitely make sure to follow my Twitter and all that good stuff so that you don't miss it. That being said, my name of course has been System Z. You guys have been awesome, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.